Road to the IPO, le podcast des entrepreneurs aguerris. Today's podcast is in English, and I have the great honor to have on the show Kevin Kliman, CEO and co-founder of Humi. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me. Appreciate being here.
Thank you. So, for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Kevin. I am CoCEO of Humi, and we build an employee system of record for Canadian SMBs. So that's HR, payroll, and benefits. One simple spot to do all three.
Okay.
And yeah, that's Humi.
All right. So, before we talk about your company, I want to talk about yourself. I know that you study at University of Southern California, but not as an entrepreneur, but as a dentist. Is that right?
Correct. I went to
Yeah.
dental.
So what happened to go from dentist to entrepreneur?
For sure. So there have been elements of both pervasive in my entire life. I've always done entrepreneurial things, whether it was a lemonade stand or I had a couple small businesses with friends in high school and a couple of little experiments during university. And then on the dentistry side, both my parents are medical professionals. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a dentist. And so they've always instilled this idea that the foundation should be one of those.
Okay.
As a result, in believing that to be the truth for a long time, I ended up at dental school in California.
Yeah.
Always building businesses, trying to run small little hustles. And that's how I ended up doing both effectively.
Yes, because we know that a lot of dentists are entrepreneurs. They own their companies. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where you were heading. You were studying like a dentist, but you knew that you want to be an entrepreneur. Is that right?
Yeah. So I always, by the time I was in dental school, I believed that I would do something entrepreneurial in the dental world. And I tried a couple things. It turns out it's not my favorite place to build. And I fell in love with software and the evolution of building software companies. And so one gradually led me to the other.
So Humi is not your first company. I think you were trying to do something like in the broadcasting field with another company. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. A company was originally called Insta Radio, and we pivoted to naming it Roar. Allowed anybody to do a live audio podcast from every Facebook, Twitter, every platform, and then it recorded a version to be distributed after that. So
when was that? When you started doing that?
It ended in 2015. So we were launched maybe 6 to 8 months after Instagram was. Ran until the closest analogy would be like Periscope with Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
But audio only.
So do you think you were too early? Because right now podcasting is big and it's starting to be a trend. Do you think that company was too early?
A combination of a number of things. In terms of timing, it was a little bit early. The industry itself, the growth rates look less like video and images. It's a little bit, it isn't quite as exponential a curve.
Yeah.
And also building a producer, like a two-sided marketplace and also like production tech is really difficult to make work with discovery and consumption. So I think there's a confluence of a lot of those things. Probably the closest thing to what we were trying to build is Anchor, which just sold to.
Yes. That's a huge one too. A lot of podcasters use that to distribute the podcast. So yeah. So after that company, you just start Humi, which is a Canada SMB payroll and benefits solution for small and medium businesses. So what is Humi exactly?
So after that company ended, and this will tie nicely to the intro, there was a period of learning of maybe half a year where I got really interested in SaaS, but I also went back and was working as a dentist to support myself. And at the time, there were two companies that were growing faster than any SaaS company had grown before, Gusto and Zenefits in the US. And the more I learned about the companies, the value proposition, the business model, how they were being built, the more I fell in love with the idea of a company like that. And at the same time, I was realizing that there was an opportunity to build a company in Canada that would hit the 100 million annual revenue target, which a lot of SaaS investors are looking for.
Yes.
The combination of the two led me to say, let's go for it, find some people, start building.
So you're based in Toronto, is that right?
Correct.
Right now? Correct. So you talk a lot about the small and medium businesses because that's where your market is. So how does Humi benefit them? How does Humi benefit the small and medium companies?
Mm-hmm. So as you probably know, managing employees is probably the most important function of every single company. You know, it doesn't matter what your company does, what the timing is. It's very likely that the performance, of your employees will determine the outcome of the company in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Humi functions on a number of different levels. For most companies, it functions on the most basic level of automating and simplifying really important mission critical tasks that are involved with managing employees, getting documents signed, being compliant, making sure time off is tracked, payroll is done, properly, on time, and well. As companies level up and are spending less time doing manual data input because they have one single brain system of record for all their employees, they can start to do stuff like, invest more in their onboarding process, understand more like how to better retain employees, start to do performance management, start to take advantage of an applicant tracking system. So we give them the tools to do that base level functionality and to graduate into some of the higher level stuff.
Yes, because I think it's great. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that start their business and they want to start like something small, and with Humi that would help them, something that would take care of the human resources. Because as you say, there's a lot of job taking care of employees. So that's a good solution. And I also want to thank Ethan that he put us in contact. So I think he's one of your clients too. So he's happy with that.
Ethan, he's got a cool business and they use Humi as well.
Yes. So I saw something really cool on the website when I was looking at your company. So there's the LV Human Resources Virtual Reality. So the world first augmented HR experience using virtual reality. What's that exactly? Because it sounds cool.
It sounds cool. It's actually an April Fool's joke.
Okay. Well, that sounds cool.
But it, to your point, it touches on a lot of ideas that are prevailing HR today. So obviously VR is kind of a hot thing, and so is work from home culture, work remote culture.
Mm-hmm.
We could bridge the two within the context of an April Fool's joke by building something that would allow people to feel like they were in the office at home.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah.
But the idea is really real and something we think about on a lot. How do we allow people, given all the tools that they have, capabilities of new next generation platforms like us, like Zoom, we're using today, to improve the way they work and the fashion that allows them to be have a greater overall satisfaction without any loss in productivity or increase there.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. So working from home, you're talking about the benefits. Do you think that most companies should start giving that time to their employees anywhere, like small or big? They should like stay at home, let's work with the tools. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it's very company dependent.
Okay.
The job of a company and any manager is to make sure that what an employee wants and what the company needs are aligned.
Okay.
And there's some companies where that just wouldn't work with a remote working policy. If you have to work with your hands or in a factory, those would be really, I don't foresee those things working within the confines of a work from home policy.
Yeah.
But if it's majority knowledge work, if people spend 95% of their time on a computer, those are situations where you can create an environment where it's as effective remote as it is in the office. And if that works with the culture and the type of people who work there, then I think it's a fantastic idea because commute is a huge waste of a lot of people's time in life.
Yeah.
And, employee happiness is incredibly important to retaining people long term. And if they can spend 20, 30 minutes with their family or doing other things that are important to them, that makes it. And it could be that could be the reason why they stay at the company for another 6 months or 2 years.
Yes, because you were talking about making our employees happy. Do you think that in the 21st century that should be the priority to companies as technology comes in and starts taking place? Think that employees should make their employees happy? Is that the first priority?
Well, I think the reality of any business, way business incentives and structures are to look at what will be the best for the business long term.
Yeah.
And it's the perspective that in most cases, the happiness and fulfillment of the employees is very well aligned with that. And so because the work from home policy fits in nicely within the confines of that story, that I believe a lot of companies should really understand whether it's something that works for them. It can work for everyone, but company's job, unfortunately, is just to be successful and make money. And if this is something that helps improve employee morale, it's something that should be seriously thought about.
How many employees do you have at Humi right now?
We have 30 employees at the company right now.
So do you want to instill like a mindset to bring those employees happiness? Is that one of your priorities in your company right now?
It's massively important to us. We believe that people who are happy are going to stay longer, are going to attract other people who will be happy, will foster a great environment of greater productivity. So it's something we think about on a regular basis. How we believe, we make somebody happy may be different than other companies. I subscribe to the idea that somebody working on things that are interesting to them with people they enjoy is the most important thing to keeping somebody happy. And there's a ton of fringe benefits, lunches, ping pong tables that are fantastic, but they miss the core of what people are looking for on a daily basis.
Let's say for people that are watching or listen to the podcast, they have a startup, and as a startup, it's always changing. There's always stress. How do you keep your employees happy with all the stress of, let's do this, and tomorrow just changes? Because change is a factor to get people scary, How do you make those people feel comfortable with change?
I think expectations and filters are incredibly important.
Yeah.
So making sure we filter for the people who are going to be prepared, happy, and willing to take on the challenges of that much change. Very important up front. And in that same vein, setting expectations. We believe that when we look for an employee to join our team, as much, the right idea not to sell the company or to oversell is to be as honest as possible, to get buy-in from them that this is something they want to devote time and energy and, which are really their two most valuable resources. So we're extremely upfront and brutally honest about the challenges, how, working in an early stage, fast-moving company will affect their lives and the type of a commitment that is necessary.
Okay, good. So before we go to the last segment of the podcast, I just want to let people know where they can contact you, which platforms are you on, so they can maybe talk to you.
Sure. Twitter is probably the best. I'm on there at Kliman, K Kliman.
Yeah.
Or just shoot me an email, just Kevin, my first name at humi.ca.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to put all the links on the description for if people want to contact you. So I just want to have 2 extra questions right now. So what do you think of the future of human resource with the AI and VR? Because technology is coming and, human resources to make employees happy, to all this administration. But what do you think the future of human resources is going with all this new technology?
Mm-hmm. So I think so there's a lot of talk early on with single, employee management systems that combine all these things. that you're not going to need an HR person. But the truth is, in my mind, a little bit different than that. I think it actually frees up time and resources to be able to focus HR energy, which is exceptionally important. I don't think anybody should be fired. You should be eliminating that role, or you should be adding to it. And those people should be spending more of their time on the things that really move the needle forward for the business. And the vast majority of cases, that's how do we find the best people for the jobs that need to be done. How do we keep the people who are, within the company? And then how do we challenge and filter, our existing employee base so that we know we are continually having the right people for the right jobs.
Okay, so you mix technology and people together, so to make a strong base. Because both of them,
the MLAI stuff, it isn't to make decisions for you, it's to help you make better decisions.
All right, thank you. And the last question I have for those that listen to the podcast and watching, what did you learn for your past companies that you bring to Humi?
Yeah, so for me, it was that the people are the most important part of the company, bar none.
Yes.
I said before, you could have a great idea, perfect timing, in an exceptional market. If you don't have the right people, it's not going to matter. So focus on, not only getting the great, the right people, but also knowing who are the right best people for you for those that need to be done.
Yeah. So the biggest lesson you had is people, because people are business. People are the core of your business, and you have to take care of them.
Spend more time up front understanding the roles necessary, the skills involved, and then also spend more time prospecting for the right people to be leaders in those sections. And proper senior leadership is 6 to 12 months recruiting. So be prepared to build relationships and invest in them for a long time before they bear fruit.
All right. Thank you very, very much for accepting the invitation on the podcast. I appreciate. So we have Kevin Kliman, CEO and co-founder of Humi, on the road to the IPO. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Take care.